by the name of Amanda Berquist. And in 2018, Amanda would show up to the Cook County Courthouse and run film on the piggies, right? Because Amanda's about that life. Okay. And of course, Amanda's a white woman. Privilege, right? And and to be honest, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, y'all better flex that whiteness everywhere, every fucking where. I mean, don't flex it on black people, but you can flex it on black cops, though. I don't have a problem with that. y'all can absolutely flex that whiteness on black cops, because fuck them. But Amanda Berquist was recording police outside of the Cook County Courthouse in 2018, and they didn't like it. And they snatched her up, right? And they took her in front of a judge, and she got in a little bit of trouble. Long story short, she ended up suing Cook County. She won the lawsuit for a small amount. She won a judgment, I think, of $15,000 for her First Amendment rights being violated. But the deposition of the two officers that apprehended her because of her protected First Amendment activities of filming the police in public, which you are absolutely allowed to do, in spite of new laws being passed different places that now put a distance, a mandatory foot range that you need to be away from the police as they're conducting police activities. Again, another way that the state is trying to discourage civic engagement with law enforcement, or it's even worse, trying to discourage civic accountability for when police are acting illegally and intentionally violating people's rights. So anyway, back to Amanda. So she was suing Cook County cops. And the video that started to repercolate around the interwebs comes from the deposition of the two cops that stopped her. And I want you guys to listen very closely to the exemplary questioning that Amanda's attorney is giving these cops. And then listen very carefully to the unsurprising yet chilling responses given by these sworn veteran police officers, whom, if I'm not mistaken, in their oath of allegiance, whatever the fuck shit they say to become police officers, I thought that they swore to uphold and preserve the Constitution. But I don't even think in law enforcement, I don't even think they is reading the Constitution in the fucking academy. That must be when they have senior skip day, the day that they go over the Constitution. All the almost graduating cadets, they get to skip that day. Listen to the fucking questions being asked and answered in this deposition, y'all. It'll just make you shake your head. Will, let's run it.
Isn't it fucking appalling? You guys hear about that police training?
That's not the right one. I'm sorry. The one it says incompetent cops. I'm sorry, that's how I labeled it. Incompetent police. Let me get to my thing here. What I call it? Incompetent police.
Reasonable suspicion that she was committing.
Okay, yeah, start from the beginning. There we go.
Any reasonable suspicion that she was committing a crime, yes or no?
We weren't sure what she was doing.
Okay, so if you don't know what somebody's doing, do you have reasonable suspicion that they're doing anything in particular?
No, but we have a reasonable response to ask what she was doing.
Right, agreed. You could ask her what she's doing. And when she refuses to answer, are you now allowed to detain her?
Yes.
Who told you this? That you get to detain people who are videoing and refuse to identify themselves when asked? Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment, by the way?
Vaguely.
What does it say in your own vague terms?
No illegal search and seizure.
Right, unless there's
Probable cause.
or.
That's about all I know.
Okay, all right, good enough. You said that's about all I know. All right. Now, there was somebody else who asked you the same question that I just asked you about your familiarity with the Fourth Amendment. Who's in this room right now? Do you know who that person was? My client. Miss asked you that, didn't she?
I don't recall.
She asked you, are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment? You don't remember that?
No.
If I tell you that your answer was, oh great, why do we always get the crazies? Would you dispute that?
No.
Does that sound like something you would say to somebody?
That's something I did say that day, yes.
So you remember saying that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember saying that in response to the question, are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment?
No, I just remember saying it.
Why is it that you felt she was one of the crazies?
Well, when people act in a way that is not in their best interest.
How was she acting that was not in her best interest?
Well, at any time, all she had to do was identify herself. We could have done everything could have gone the own.
And if somebody were to threaten you that unless you comply with their demands, they're going to put you in handcuffs, would you automatically necessarily comply with their demands?
Yes.
No object.
You would.
Calls for speculation.
He was able to answer. So you would. So even if there's somebody who is acting as a law enforcement officer, giving you an unlawful order, threatening you with detainment or arrest or 90 days jail, if you don't comply with their unlawful demands, you would still comply?
Yes.
Alrighty. Is that what you expected her to do? To comply?
Yes.
Law that requires people to identify themselves when requested by law enforcement? Did you delete her pictures?
No.
Who did?
Don't know.
You don't know who deleted her pictures?
No.
By the time you got in front of Judge Peter Felice, they were deleted, weren't they?
As far as I know, they were still on there.
You grabbed her camera
Yes.
away from her outside, did you not?
Yes.
From that point until you were in front of Judge Peter Felice, did she ever hold her camera again?
No.
Okay, so you had it the entire time.
Yes.
Didn't Judge Peter Felice talk to you about whether the pictures had been deleted?
He asked for the memory thing so he could delete.
Said that he asked you for the memory card because he wanted to delete the pictures. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. And if he were to testify at some point in time that he absolutely, categorically did not delete those pictures, then would you want to change your answer as to whether you or one of your people did?
I'm going to object. Calls for speculation.
No one had custody of the camera but me.
Okay. Would it have been lawful for you to delete her pictures?
I don't know.
What do you think? Are you allowed to go over to people's pictures and delete them
No.
without a court order?
No.
All right. That would be a violation of which amendment? Do you know? What do you do if somebody says they want to talk to a lawyer and you have them in handcuffs?
We allow them to call a lawyer.
Do you keep asking them questions?
Depends on the case.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Tell me the case in which you would continue to ask questions of somebody in custody after they ask for a lawyer.
If we're doing an investigation, we're going to ask.
I got you. Okay. Do you know which amendment it is that allows people to demand a lawyer? Do you have any idea?
No.
Have you ever read anybody the Miranda rights?
No.
You've never read anybody their Miranda rights?
No.
Have you ever arrested anybody
No.
other than Ms. Berquist?
No.
And you don't know the Miranda rights?
Not offhand, no.
All right. When you arrest somebody, do you have to advise them that they have the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Do you have to advise them that they have the right to an attorney?
Yes.
Do you have to advise them that if they cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to them?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what if somebody says, yes, I want to talk to an attorney? Do you get to keep asking them questions? Or do you have to call a lawyer for them before you want to ask any more questions?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know if you're allowed to keep asking questions of somebody in custody after they ask for a lawyer?
No.
How long have you been employed at Cook County Sheriff's?
27 years.
27 years. I imagine you only became a lieutenant recently?
No.
How long ago did you become a lieutenant?
22 years ago?
You've been a lieutenant for 22 years and you don't know the Miranda rights?
Did you see the look? Did you see both of them dumb fucking cops? Both of them dumb fucking cops got stuck on what I would think would be the most basic elements of American jurisprudence. whatever jurisprudence means on the fucking Constitution. Guys, here's the thing. When Democrats in particular, Republicans too, when all these bullshit ass American politicians scream and holler about the police just need better training, we just need better trained officers. What they mean is they need better trained officers at the cop cities, at the mini Gazas of the world, right? They need better urban warfare training. They need better mass surveillance training, better racial profile training, better harassment training. They don't need better training on the fucking Constitution and Miranda rights. Can you imagine? Although we do not have to imagine, and please believe, those fucking super troopers right there, they are not anomalies. You better believe that the majority of American police have no fucking clue what the Constitution is, what the Bill of Rights are, what civil rights are, what human rights are, what Miranda rights are, because they're clearly not being trained in the shit. How in the fuck this man, a Cook County sheriff, 27 years, a lieutenant for 22 years, this motherfucker act like he ain't never even heard of Miranda rights. This dumb motherfucker didn't know you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. This motherfucker act like that's just some shit to say. That shit don't mean anything. What you mean? If somebody asks for a lawyer, of course we can continue questioning them as police. They just ask for a lawyer. That don't mean shit. What you mean? I can't. Me speaking as a police here. What you mean? Police can't detain citizens in public doing protected First Amendment behaviors if they won't give up their name? Of course, we have a right to detain them. We don't have to wonder when fascism will arrive. Not only is it here, it has been here. And these dumb fucking cops are being enabled by the likes of the Biden administration and the Trump everybody. It serves all of the elite interests to make sure that police are unleashed, literally, not only just onto the public, but unleashed onto protected, well, not unprotected, marginalized groups first, as they have always been. And all right, one more video from this topic, because I mean, I looked a little. I didn't look super hard. And I follow this chick, and I think she isn't a criminal defense attorney. She's been giving pretty interesting commentary on that Karen Reed trial that's happening in Boston. Silberg, that shit's fucking crazy, right? And the Young Thug trial in Atlanta, which is also fucking bonkers. But she don't make this white lady do not miss an opportunity to slap the fucking cops, okay? Because as a criminal defense attorney, she very clearly understands, though I think, she's not 100% there on anti-racism, but she seems to be a nice white lady. she means well. But she gets it 100% right when it comes to the fucking cops. And in this video that we're going to show, that I wanted to try to find the original, and I couldn't find it on TikTok. And I really don't know where she got these clips from, but I take them as to be authentic. So actually, I can't do a whole lot of preface because she does a very good job of articulating what this is. But just know that what we're about to see is connected to police training. And what I have been saying to you guys for a while, and it's nothing, original or brilliant. However, that obviously the cops must control for hiring psychopaths and hiring sociopaths and hiring unapologetic racists and misogynists. Like, these must be who they are looking for. Like, they screen all the normal all the normal people, I guess. I don't know how normal you can be trying to be a cop, but all right. But people, I guess, who do well on the psych exams, there's no place for you here at the academy, in the department. We need them crazy motherfuckers. Come right on in. We got a spot for you. We got some guns. What you need? Some guns? You need some power? We got all of that for you to run reckless throughout the society. So anyway, listen to this lady. I'm very bad at getting people's names off TikTok. My bad. But anyway, watch the video. Let's check it out.
City, thousands of officers.
Started from the beginning, Will.
Want to see something fucking appalling? You guys hear about that police training in Atlantic City? Thousands of officers from hundreds of departments across the nation attended this training. Did you know that there's video evidence of the shit that they taught? While you watch this, keep in mind that when they testify that they did this, or this based on their training and experience, this is what they're talking about. Enjoy.
I love what the fuck I do for a living. There's nothing else I'm good at. I love violence. I love fighting. I love shooting, and I fucking love freedom. It wasn't that long ago that we were drinking out of the schools of our enemies. Like, you know, like I'm gonna fucking murder this guy. Then I'm gonna take his head. Then I'm gonna cut his head in half. And then I'm gonna boil his skull. And then I'm gonna drink out of that skull. Fucking rad, right? I'm not the guy who's fucking recording you like, oh, I am not a citizen of the United States under fucking Act 12, 6. Shut the fuck up, right? About to get pepper sprayed and fucking tased. Windows broken out, motherfucker. We don't like treating Turks, right? You're like, fuck them. The ambulance can take care of them, right? And I had a problem treating, gangbangers and the people that were the pieces of shit of society, right? I had a great mentor that told me, well, Sean, guess what? That's a live tissue lab, bro. Anytime you can come to one of these shitbags, absolutely do the best you can. Absolutely. Because what if he gets hurt, right? Or she gets hurt, or he gets hurt, then I can perform that flawlessly because now I've had some reps in. Everybody get that? Everybody with me on that?
There's more. There's plenty more. I just don't have the energy to go through all of it right now. Let me know if you want to see the rest. But this is what the fuck they mean. That first guy loves violence, loves fighting, and that's why he loves his job. Let that sink in. The next guy says he's gonna fucking fuck someone up, tase him, because he's reciting statutes. He's referring to sovereign citizens or auditors. And the last guy saying that nobody wants to treat a piece of shit who they determine to be pieces of shit, but he's incentivizing them. He's saying, use them. They're a live tissue lab. Use them for practice, just in case someone who matters ever gets hurt. That's how they have to get incentivized. This training is not the only one of its kind. I have seen state use of force experts testify that, oh yes, they're completely justified in basically killing you if they look at you the wrong way, basically. And so because technically it was part of their training and experience, regardless of how militarized and egregious and fucking brutal that training is, well, it's justified because that's how our little robot was trained. This is the workaround for having any responsibility. You think that training would have gotten anybody in trouble if it wasn't for the fact that the wrong person's eyes saw it? This is why most of them are not recorded. This is just how brazen these guys were. They thought they'd record it. If this was not common behavior and culture, they would not be up there saying the shit they were saying, expecting to get the laughs that they got.
In the South, it's the wild, wild west, south, wherever. You don't believe me? Run from Georgia State Patrol. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? Run from me. Somewhere along the chase becomes neither confirm or deny there's some videos out there with me doing just that.
Loser. That guy's Middle Eastern. And I don't know if you picked up on the self-hating fucking trope that he just fucking did with the la 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 la. if you run from me, I'm gonna shoot you. And then he thinks he's real fucking cool by saying, I can neither confirm nor deny there's a few videos of me doing just that. Oh my God, you're so cool and so fucking tough. Tell us how you got so cool and tough, you absolute fucking loser. Anyway, they're that brazen and that bold with their fucking delivery, expecting laughs, videotaping it, because this is the norm. It's the fucking norm. I want one person to defend this. I want one of you to defend this. Do it. Do it. I have nothing else to do tonight.
I like her. She's a good follow. Well, what's her name? Tell the people, look that up and tell me what her name is. See, the TikTok font is so small, I don't even bother to try to. I'm like, bookmark, cool. Whatever. But I know she is attorney. She does give really good insight and commentary on some of these cases, like I said. But y'all, thoughts on that training video? Thoughts? Anybody think that was an inaccurate video? Anybody thinks that is a deep fake, or that was AI, or somehow that was not really an actual police training, right? No. My audience over here is extremely clear-eyed in understanding that of course that was real. And just think about literally the decades and generations of police that have been trained in exactly those ways, in that same language, in that same dehumanizing verbiage about the public that they are allegedly there to protect and serve. The giddy and the pride that they express for brutalizing people. Like, it's fun to them. It's fun. It's part of the job. I fucking love this job, man. I love violence. I love beating people up. I love freedom. Said the fucking pig. Whoa. And these are the people that continue to get money by the billions per department. By the way, going back to what we saw, that testimony from those Cook County sheriffs who were giving that deposition, where neither one of those fuckheads knew fuck all about the Constitution, people's constitutional rights. They ain't know none about that shit. In 2023, Cook County, Illinois, allotted a budget of over $100 million. I want to say the number was close to $120 million, specifically to be used for payouts and settlements for when the police were sued. Okay, $100 million to cover up police brutality and their blatant and overt fuck ups, right? But again, what do we get as solutions to the gun violence problem? We get more police. We don't get mental health services. We don't get universal access to healthcare, mental or otherwise. No, we get more police. And what do the police get? The police get a budget for their oops, we maimed you. Oops, we killed you. Oops, we brutalized you. Oops, we violated your rights repeatedly and deliberately and intentionally. So here's some money. Shut the fuck up. Oh, and the gag is actually your money. Haha. Comes from the public. So shut the fuck up. Cops get to do what they want and also get to simultaneously not know shit at the same time. But this is where the gag is on us, guys. The gag is on us. So anytime, this is where we have to come in, right? You guys know I'm not an organization, I'm not a political educator, but I am a common senseologist, deeply studied and practiced, and got some intense praxis around my common senseology. Get my suffixes and my prefixes right on my common senseologist in my expertise. But we can very easily tell our people, stop calling the fucking cops, right? The police are not there to help you in no way, shape, or form, right? If you call them for help, they are more likely to arrive and fuck you up or mistake you for the criminal. Don't call the police. as a public safety measure for our community specifically, we have to continue to tell our folks, do not call police to your home. And in response to property crime or actual violent crime, calling for more police in your community doesn't resolve that. And in a lot of our communities, I'm thinking of places just local, where the fuck I am. Listen, where they shooting now, they have been fucking shooting, okay? For a long time. They've been shooting down Southeast for a long time. They've been shooting out Landover for a long time. They've been shooting out fucking Baltimore City for a long time. And guess what? Police have been increased in their numbers and in their funding every single time, every generation, every fucking decade, and they're still shooting in the same fucking places. So if we can't do anything but simply point out the obvious to our people, show me how more police in your community equals safety. Where does it bring safety? More police in your community should not make you safe. That should tell you that how unsafe you actually are. And it's usually because the police themselves bring the violence. But it's because they are there to contain the elements of society that have been disproportionately affected that brings out violence in people. Poverty, as Cop Mala even said correctly. Yes, poverty is trauma. Abso-fucking-lutely. And the police's job, enforced by prosecutors such as Cop Mala, is to make sure that the people experiencing poverty stay right where the fuck they are. And that they take out the violence and frustration and desperation that poverty brings out of people. Make sure that them people stay right over there in that corner and take all that shit out on each other. That's why the police are there, to make sure that the poors stay in their place. And however folks respond or react to each other in response to these conditions, oh, well, fuck it. We'll just send more money to the cops and not more money to the people. So that's why we are team fuck these cops all fucking day. They keep proving to us that training is not their issue. Psychopathy is their issue. Racism is their issue. Misogyny is their issue. A outright disbelief or indifference to the Constitution that they claim that they are sworn to protect and uphold is their issue. They don't give a fuck about the Constitution. You start reciting your constitutional and civil rights to a fucking cop, they're going to do what that Cook County sheriff did, and that's call you a crazy. Oh, Lord. We got one of them crazy people who done read the Constitution. Put your hands behind your back, ma'am. Yeah, you want a lawyer? Okay. We'll see. Wow. They said they don't give a fuck. Sue them. It ain't their money. Qualified immunity, baby. So long as qualified immunity still remains the law of the land, these police have no incentive to do better. And please believe Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are not about to make the police do better at all. If anything, they are going to fund them more so they can train the same way the IOF and the IDF train to attack and hunt and murder and harass and maim Palestinians. They want to make sure that American police are trained in all that exact same shit so they can come back here and do all that exact same shit that to us. Fuck the police.